This is the list of all confirmed leaks and rumors of FC25, and after going through every tweet, article, and even talking to pro players, I came up with a list of the 8 most shocking changes. So starting off, the first confirmed leak is actually related to Ultimate Team. According to Austor, there are going to be 22 new icons added to FC25, and keep in mind these are just base icons and not like the promo cards or anything like that. We do have the entire list of icons being added, and I'll put that up in a second, but there are just 5 that completely blew my mind. And the first guy is someone I never thought we'd see as an icon because he had a licensing disagreement with EA, and that's Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And he's obviously going to be the best Swedish player in the game considering his competition is Rolfo and Brolin. The next player was actually removed from Ultimate Team in FIFA 22, and that's Franz Beckenbauer. And since he's one of the only center backs to win the Ballon d'Or, he could be one of the best center backs in the entire game, competing with players like Lucio and Yashin. Next at number 3, Alfredo Di Stefano. He is one of the best players to ever play the game, but I honestly never thought he'd get added because young people just don't know who he is. Next at number 2 is a Dutch legend and one of Hullet's favorite teammates, Edgar Davids. Just imagine playing with him, Cruyff, and Hullet on the same team. Come on now. And the last one I was really surprised to see was Gareth Bale. Not because he wasn't good enough, but just because he's so young. And since he's been playing so much golf lately, I kind of figured we'd see him in PGA before we saw him in FIFA again. And those are just the 5 most shocking. If you want to see the entire list of all 22 icons, you can pause the video right now. Now, the 7th confirmed leak is something you've probably heard a lot about so far, so I won't go too far in depth, but there's going to be a complete AI overhaul to FC25. And I honestly don't know what that means, but one of the best leakers, Footdonk, does, and this is what he has to say. You will have more intelligent players, meaning your players will play more like you and less like semi-pro computers. Your players will adapt better to the in-game flow, so you won't have any players drifting off or playing like it's Sunday League on the pitch. The Pro Club's AI is going to be massively improved, and this combined with all of the other information coming up that we have on Pro Clubs is going to be insane. And who knows, with better AIs, maybe we can take down Girth and Turf. And lastly, not only will your players remember past events, but they will also make better tactical adjustments, which I just want to know if that means they remember events from past games or they only remember events from the current game you're playing. Coming in at the 6th confirmed leak, according to FootZone, FC25 will have an exclusive Youth Academy section with a ton of focus on the Youth Academy and career mode, which I have 2 thoughts on. I could totally see EA copying the best career mode on the market, Football Manager, and if they use them as inspiration, I genuinely think we could see one of the best career modes of all time in FC25. Because think about it, the only game mode that Football Manager has is career mode, so it's perfect, and if EA can get that down as well as have other game modes, it will be insane. And the second thing I want to know is, does the Youth Academy only apply to Manager career mode, or are we going to be able to play in the Academy as a player similar to Alex Hunter in the Journey? And moving on to the 5th confirmed leak, not only are we going to have 22 new icons added to FC25, but for the first time ever, we're going to see icon managers in the game. And they're not like normal managers, they have special abilities. Not only will they give +1 chemistry to everyone in the squad, but there's a chance they give skill boosts to certain players based on league and nationality. So if Sir Alex Ferguson is added, he's going to add +1 chemistry to everybody and give every Manchester United player +1 pace in game, which is unfortunate because Man U might not have a single player that's usable if they keep doing what they're doing. But this doesn't seem like too much of a stretch for EA considering they just completely changed icons from having a base, mid, and prime to only having a base. And they recently put icons in promos, so there's a huge emphasis on icons now. But hear me out, it also opens the door for certain icons to be added in promos because let's be honest, if it weren't for chemistry, I would not care about the manager of my club in Ultimate Team at all. Next to the 4th confirmed leak, EA is not just making AI adjustments to the gameplay, but they are also going to be making adjustments to the menus. If you've been in the store recently, which let's be honest, it's Team of the Season, we all have, you might have noticed a new section called the For You page. This is where EA recommends certain packs that are just for you. And you might think, oh, EA is only gonna recommend me the most expensive packs so they can get me to spend the most amount of money, which is probably true. But apparently EA has an AI tool that scans through your club and recommends you packs based on your current situation. So if you need fodder for SBCs, you get recommended the provisionary packs. And if you need high rated cards to upgrade your team, you get recommended those packs too, which is basically EA saying your team sucks. But this is important because it's rumored we're going to be seeing a lot more of that, not for packs, but for the menus instead. So rather than getting recommended only packs, you will get personalized recommendations for custom tactics based on how you play, transfer market and SBC recommendations based on your current team, and objective recommendations based on if you need more packs or XP, which is very interesting, but not as interesting as the third confirmed league. Coming in at the third confirmed league for FC25, according to FootZone FIFA, there has been a massive shift over at EA over the past few months, and they want to make FC25 the best football game they've ever made. Development started in early January, and we're going to be expecting an announcement in early July, which is awesome, but the question is, are they going to listen to the community on what they need to fix? Because this year was basically all pay to win, and even if you grind for hours every day, your team still won't be as good as someone who bought store packs once. But hear me out. If they can successfully add everything I mentioned throughout this video and the biggest thing at number 1, I genuinely think this could be the best game they ever made. Think about it. Ultimate Team will be completely different. Career mode will have the academy that we can utilize, and the main focus on the game will be making gameplay significantly better than it was this year. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and find out. Now with the second confirmed league for FC25, this one is pretty mind-blowing. So do you guys remember how FIFA tried to double the licensing price on EA, and EA was like, no, we're just not gonna pay that? So they had to completely change the name from FIFA to EAFC. Well, after that happened, everyone was like, oh, FIFA's just gonna partner with 2K and make their own game, right? Well, that is not happening anymore. And even if it does, it won't happen until at least 2030 because FIFA and 2K have not made any agreements yet. And even though everyone continues to talk about how bad FC24 is, we cannot deny the fact that video games take a very long time to make, especially if they have to start from scratch like 2K is going to. And this is huge news because it means that EA is still going to be the only good football game out there, at least for the foreseeable future. But I do have one question. EA doesn't have the rights for the World Cup. So is anybody gonna make a World Cup game with the World Cup in the US in 2026? Or is GTA 6 gonna come out before we see another World Cup game mode that's actually decent? But especially with the World Cup going to be in the US in 2026, I'm no genius, but I feel like they're missing a huge opportunity. And it's also going to suck because some of those OG World Cup game modes were so much fun. And lastly, the number 1 confirmed leak is very big news. Over the past couple years, if you look at what jobs EA is hiring for, they're currently looking for a senior game designer that has experience with sandbox design for open world games. What does that mean? Well, in normal terms, it means they're looking for someone who can build an open world game mode. And this information, combined with all of the rumors we've been hearing about an online career mode or an open world game mode in pro clubs, makes complete sense. Because if this open world game mode happens, you will not only be able to interact with different players, go to the park and play pickup with your pro clubs or online career mode players, or just customize your player and mess around in the open world. And I genuinely think EA can pull this off because 2K did it with NBA 2K My Park, and if they do pull this off, no other company is going to have a chance because FC25 is going to be so good with Ultimate Team, online career mode, and whatever they do with offline career mode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out 5 secrets that pro players don't want you to know.